Assalamu alaikum and hello to my non-Muslim viewers. One of the problems that atheism imposes to people is is moral issues. And now I'm not saying that atheists can't be moral. I'm not saying that atheists don't know morality. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying in fact, there are a lot of atheists I know who are good people. Atheists like Richard Carrier, Robert M. Price, Bart Ehrman. These are atheists or agnostics who are very nice people, who are good people. Well, they were nice to me. But anyways, what I'm saying is that an atheist can't justify morality. So uh, one of the problems atheism has on people is that when people are atheists, they can't justify morality. So that's an issue, because if you can't justify morality, then then you can justify all kinds of things. You can justify why not murder innocent people to get what you want. That's the point. That's the point about morality. It's a point about ontology, not a point about epistemology. It's not a point about how you know the moral law. It's a point about why does the moral law exist. So atheist or or atheism has that problem because the atheists, they can't justify morality. They can't. The atheists will always point fingers at the Quran, or they'll always point fingers at the Bible and the Quran, saying this is a, or they'll take biblical or Quranic verses saying this is immoral, yada yada yada. But my response is, how do you know it's immoral? How do you know it's immoral and stuff like that? If you have no standards for morality, if you're just saying the Quran or the Bible is immoral because you don't like it or whatever, but you have no standards, then you have no grounds to judge the Quran or the Bible when it comes to those types of things. So atheism fails in that regard. It doesn't teach people morality. It just subjective perceptions here and there. So that's one of the reasons why atheism just doesn't work. It throws a sense of morality at people, or atheism or atheists have a sense of morality, um, but they can't justify that morality, and that's a serious issue because atheists. Now there are a lot of atheists I know who are moral people. I'm not saying all of them are immoral or all of them are not good people. I'm not saying that. I'm saying sometimes they just can't justify. Uh, they don't know why not to do something, right? They don't know why not to murder to get what you want, or why not do, sexually immoral things and stuff like that. Jews, Christians, and Muslims follow the scriptures. Jews follow the Old Testament. Christians follow the New Testament. And they have to follow the Old Testament because the New Testament says follow the Old Testament. And Muslims follow the Quran. So Jews, Christians, and Muslims have a set of laws, or or they have moral guidelines they follow, and the Muslims follow the example of the Prophet Muhammad, right? Because the Quran says follow the Prophet Muhammad. So so Jews, Christians, and Muslims follow, you know, the Old Testament, the New Testament, the Quran, the Hadith. The Hadith are action sayings of the Prophet Muhammad. So they have a moral law, but atheists don't have a moral law. You know, so so like, why does the moral law exist? The moral law exists because of what God said, according to the scriptures, according to, well, as a Muslim, I can only speak from a Muslim perspective, because I believe in the Muslim scriptures. But the moral law exists because God revealed it to the Prophet Muhammad. But the atheists, they don't have any kind of moral law. They don't know why the moral law exists. They don't know what the moral law is because they can't justify morality. They can just spit out their own subjective reasonings. So that's why atheist. That's one of the reasons why atheism fails. Is because the atheists can't justify morality, and that's an issue. They're just spitting out their own subjective reasonings, and their subjective reasonings could lead to immoral acts like sexual immorality or killing or whatever, and then they would justify their killing or their sexual immorality given their own perspective, given their own subjective perceptions. So that's just one of the things I was just thinking about today, is that atheists can't justify morality. They might try to be moral people, but they don't know what the moral law is. But Jews, Christians, and Muslims don't have that problem because they do know what the moral law is, because they base their moral law according to the Old Testament, the New Testament, and the Quran and the Hadith, for the Jews, Christians, and Muslims. So that's all I wanted to say about that topic. Pretty soon I'll have more videos refuting atheism and atheist arguments. Thanks so much.